So we talk about Sarah all the time. She's presented all the time. You know, Sarah, yeah, only once, but you know, she's my partner in crime in this whole deal, and so she's the co-city organizer of PKN Des Moines, as all of you know. And the first time she presented, she spoke about laughter and what it does for you as a leader, and also the physical benefits of it. And tonight, her topic will be personality.
This is me. I am a high N, a high E, a high O, a low A, and a low, very low C. You're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? I've just disclosed to you my personality at a very basic level. I totally geek personality. I think it's something really important to explore. So tonight what I want to do is I want to share with you sort of the basic constructs of personality. Research has been done in North Carolina, and they say that there's 5 basic personality traits that can define all of us. And within each of those traits, there's a continuum, and we all fall somewhere on that continuum. And what I love about personality and looking at it is each of those little components. As I'm explaining it to you, I want you to think about how do you relate to that. Each of those components is like a little bit of an ingredient in the recipe that is you, and who makes each of us up. So it's kind of like a pot of chili, ready? Everybody has their own chili recipe, and it's all different, okay? So that's what personality is like. So the first one is the need for stability. And it's the tolerance to which we can handle stress. So if you're somebody who has a high tolerance for stress, let's say you've been described as laid back, things just roll right off your back, it takes a lot to ruffle your feathers, you probably fall in the resilience category, okay? Raise your hand if you fall into that. Okay, perfect. If you have a low tolerance for stress, which is me, okay, you fall into the reactive category, like this, right? Yes! We feel things very intensely, very quickly, more than our brethren, okay? We tend to be worriers. A little bit of feedback with us goes a very long way, okay? So be gentle. The second trait of the 5 is extroversion, and this degree to which we have, that we can handle stimulations, right? So if you have a low tolerance for stimulation, you're an introvert, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean you don't like people, it just means that after a while you're going to get exhausted of all this stimulation. After a long day of work, you want to go home and just unwind by yourself. Now, if you're the opposite end of it, right, and you have a low tolerance or a high tolerance for stimulation, you're like me, and you want to be in the mix of it, right? So while my introverted friends wants to go home, I want to keep going out. I want to keep doing stuff. People who know me are always like, you're involved in so much stuff, because I go nuts if I'm not. Okay, I need that stimulation. The third personality trait is originality, okay? And it's the degree to which we explore new ideas and new things. So if you have a low level of originality and nothing wrong with it, you're a preserver. You're very comfortable with the commonplace. You're very comfortable with how it is now. You prefer a depth of knowledge versus a breadth of knowledge, okay? So you're very much like kind of the doer, not necessarily the visionary. Now, the explorer, right, this is me, for those of you who know, we just constantly want to be learning about new stuff. We want to be the jack of all trades. We want to just explore the breadth of knowledge, not the depth. We're the visionaries, the big picture thinkers. So an explorer. The fourth trait is called accommodation, the degree to which we defer to others. If you have a low level of accommodation, like myself, you're a challenger. You're not afraid to speak your ideas. Sometimes everything kind of filters through your point of view, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. And you're not afraid to sort of push your agenda. If you have a high level of accommodation, you would fall into the adapter category, which means that you would be open to others' ideas. Sometimes you might not be as forthright with your own ideas, but you're very accommodating. And the fifth and the final one is consolidation, which is the degree to which we push towards our goals. And if you have a low level of sort of focus, if you will, you're very flexible. And the reason there's a butterfly up here is because I have a saying that I chase butterflies. I can move through things very, very quickly, which is really great in some cases. Other times I get distracted. I'm like, oh, there's another butterfly. I'm going to go over here and do that. Oh, there's another one. If you are somebody who's highly focused, you're very focused on your target, you're going to complete one task before you finish the next. You're very typically organized, typically methodical, right? We drive you nuts, and we think you're too rigid, right? This is how it works. Matt's highly focused, and I'm highly flexible.
That's why this works.
So I've just very, very quickly gone over things that that I've been studying for the last 6 months. So remember ocean, right? Originality, consolidation, extroversion, accommodation, need for stability. Remember ocean when you're thinking about personality. So, I don't remember what my next slide is. Okay, nature versus nurture. That's the flexible part of me. Wait, there's more, trust me. So a lot of people wonder, how much is it nature, how much is it nurture? Research kind of tells us now that it's a little bit of both, okay? And for me, it's not so much important that of where your personality comes from, it's just that you're aware of it. Okay, so here's my flexible moment. I don't remember why I put the slide in when I started to review it today, so just enjoy this and pretend it has something to do with personality. So I couldn't even make anything up with it, and it's just a lovely photo of what is clearly a dad. So, now, personalities. There's no such thing as a bad personality trait. Some of you might think, oh, introverts, oh, people who are distracted easily, or whatever the case is. There's beauty in all of us. There's beauty in every single personality type. It's just how you use it and when do you need to use it. So think of it as like flowers. They all have an intrinsic beauty in it. The other thing is sometimes, when we're talking about personality, it's easy to feel like you get put into a box. Personality is not about saying you're always like this or you're always like that. It's just saying your tendency is probably blank. Okay? And I think that, one of the key things that I've always, that I've learned is, just because I can do this doesn't mean I prefer to do it that way. So what I encourage you to do is to reflect. Think about you. Where do you fit into that? How does that color how you view the world? Think of those around you. How does their personality color and impact the way that they view the world? And the most important thing that I hope that I can leave you with is accept and value all kinds. A lot of conflict is driven by the fact that we view the world differently because of our personality and other stuff. But if we take the time to sort of accept and value, okay, you're different than me, I'm okay with that, let's work through it and let's figure it out. That's how Matt and I figured it out, okay? So accept and value yourself and accept and value others, and that's the end of my presentation.